Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. I want to talk about George Pickens today. Productive game in Sunday night's Week 3 win over the Las Vegas Raiders, and especially with Deontay Johnson on injured reserve, they've needed Pickens to step up and be more than just a vertical threat, and I think his game continues to grow in ways that aren't just the sensational catches downfield. So let's go into the tape and talk about it. And before we get into the tape, if you guys could like this video and also subscribe to the channel, would really appreciate that. Thank you for all your support this month. It's been really fantastic for the site and for the channel. So, George Pickens, this is going to be the first rep we'll look at here. He is aligned to the trip side, number 2 slot receiver on the number somewhere where you wouldn't have seen him many times last year. And the Raiders here, looks like two-man coverage on third down, 2 deep shell by the safeties. The defenders, the corners underneath playing to the inside hip, trying to take away any in-breaking routes to the sticks. And Pickens does a great job here to fight through contact on the slot corner, number 39. A good player in Nate Hobbs. You see him battle through it, run the route on the in-cut here, and make this catch for the first down. So, last year he's the Z receiver, he's the outside guy, he's the vertical threat, and that's kind of all that he was. And this year you're seeing him expand that route tree, expand his alignment, and make some tough catches in other ways that aren't just him mossing guys downfield. So a really good rep here. Next example, George Pickens, bottom of the screen, the X receiver and Kenny Pickett running a boot to the left, and supposed to be Pat Freiermuth as the first read to the flat, but he gets bumped into by Darnell Washington as Washington's trying to block down on Max Crosby and a little too wide here, and it takes away that first read. So Kenny Pickett's first read's gone. Now you're looking for secondary reads, the crosser, and the third option here being George Pickens on this comeback route. And just a nice job here. Let's get open. Let's work back to the ball. Let's get yourself in the vision of the quarterback and make yourself available on a play that got a little busted here off this initial kind of screw up and running into each other. And so Pickens, a good job to not only work back to the football, but we're going to watch here the underneath hook defender, again, number 39, and you're going to see Pickens, as opposed to just settling here where he's open. Of course, if you throw that, the defender's right there on top of it. And so we're going to work to the sideline, work away from that underneath defender, and make a great sideline catch, getting his heels in bounds and showing the body control that George Pickens possesses. And so we'll look at it from probably the other view will be even better, but we'll take one look from this end zone view, and you see Pickens at the end there make that toe-tapping catch. And so we'll take a look from the opposite view here one last time, and you'll see Pickens be able to finish here at the catch point. So just little things like that in terms of working back to the football, making yourself open, just creating space. And you're going to see a really good catch right there to get those heels in bounds, and so much so that not even any Raiders player goes, that's an incompletion. The sideline loves to sit there and say incomplete on anything that's even close to borderline, and they don't even do that because they know this one is a catch. Another third down situation in George Pickens. Let's first again talk about his alignment. He's backside X receiver, 3x1, 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 receiver to the top, and typically that's where Deontay Johnson aligns. Now they mix and match and have really done more of that post Antonio Brown, but with Deontay out, there really is no true defined, clear-cut X receiver, and so Pickens is that guy on this rep. Good scheme, good concept overall. Mesh route, you get the crossers to try to, create the rub there on man coverage with the zone sitter and Pat Freiermuth if it does happen to be zone coverage. And so Pickens does a good job here, though, to run the route and have the cornerback trail, and you get a big play here on third down. But I just note the alignment here. Backside X receiver. Last year he was the strong side Z receiver in so many situations, running the vertical routes. Here it's third down. He's going to run the drag. It's a good ball from Kenny Pickett, and you get a bunch of yak. Yak was something that George Pickens did not do last year. He was literally the NFL's worst yak wide receiver, and right now he has more yak this year than he had all of last year. Another example in the third quarter, again, Pickens, the X receiver, backside to this 3x1 formation, play action, and just going to run the slant here, and it's pretty open, and the Raiders are playing off here a bit, but again, just expanding the route tree, not running just the comebacks and the go balls. Frankly, those have been taken away this year. The teams have not allowed Pickens to get vertical. They played corners off. They've had safeties over the top. We'll take a look at one more example that kind of shows that here in a moment. So Pickens is being forced to win in different ways with different routes. And had this been last year, he would have not been productive. He would have been invisible because he really was not able to run a full route tree and be a more nuanced route runner and be aligned in different places and motion more often. And so we're really seeing the evolution of George Pickens. Last example, and this is showing George Pickens' impact without the football. And here he is top of the screen in this 2x2 with the motion. And this is Calvin Austin's 72-yard touchdown, a concept they ran a bunch of times against the 49ers. And Kenny Pickett talked about this after the game, that on this play, you're seeing the Raiders roll coverage to George Pickens' side. They know he's a top target. They know Deontay Johnson is out. They want to take Pickens away. And so you're going to see the cornerback to the top basically play underneath man coverage to the low inside hip with the safety over the top. But what that allows here is Calvin Austin gets one-on-one with the corner on the bottom, and the safety can't recover and get deep enough because he's got eyes on George Pickens. And a really good ball here from Kenny Pickett, a good track and catch, and Calvin Austin showing that speed puts him in the end zone for a 72-yard touchdown and points on the board. But again, you're seeing the cornerback to the top, taking away underneath throws to George Pickens, a safety. It's single high, but he's rolling over to that side to basically double and bracket him because the corner's playing underneath. The safety has to take away any vertical route the Pickens may run, and it creates this 1v1 opportunity at the bottom for Calvin Austin. Does a great job to stem and be able to create separation on that post route at the break point and shows that speed the rest of the way. So Pickens is drawing attention. It's getting other guys open, giving them chances to make plays, and that's a hidden factor of Pickens' game. So I wanted to highlight that with Pickens. I did a video, I believe, late last year that talked about some of this, and you saw late in Pickens' rookie season him become a bit more than just a vertical guy, but you're really seeing that. I saw this in training camp, in the preseason, the slant route for a touchdown against Tampa Bay, and it's been evident throughout the first 3 weeks of 2023. So George Pickens, he's still a guy that's going to make the spectacular catch, and hopefully those moments will come. Again, I think defenses have really taken that aspect away. Once Deontay Johnson returns, hopefully after the bye, then those things might be easier to come by. But Pickens is showing he's more than just the vertical guy, and that's good for him and good for this offense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate you watching. If you guys could like this video and also subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.